Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. Something that we came across today in today's recitation is a topic I've spoken about before, but I thought inshallah we could address it in maybe a little more detail. One of the key concepts and the key themes of the Quran and of our deen as well is the sense of accountability that Islam has in it, and how we are to live this life with a constant awareness, a consciousness that everything that we do is recorded, everything that we do is preserved, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can hold us accountable for these things once we leave this world and we leave this life. And this is something that is presented to us and reminded to us again and again in the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ emphasized this, and this helps a person. This is part of that consciousness, that taqwa, that it helps a person monitor and guard their behavior and begin to make better choices in their life. The first thing that inshallah we can look at is in Surah Al-Haqqa. Surah Al-Haqqa, Surah number 69. All the way from ayah number 19 till ayah number 37, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the conditions that will occur on the Day of Judgment. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins with in ayah number 19 by saying, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here presents two types of people to us. And this is something very common, we're familiar with this. He says that there will be two groups of people. Their book of deeds, of course we know that the deeds, like I mentioned before, are recorded, they're preserved. كِرَامًا كَاتِبِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ مَا تَفْعَلُونَ إِنَّ رُسُلَنَا يَكْتُبُونَ مَا تَمْكُرُونَ. Allah constantly reminds us in the Quran, it's being written down, everything that you're doing is being preserved. So it will be presented back to the human being on the Day of Judgment, and even the method in which it is presented and delivered to the human being will be an indication of how he is going to fare. And basically, what is the final conclusion of his deeds? What are the final conclusions upon his deeds? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the first group of people, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. They'll be given their book of deeds in their right hand. And this, of course, will be a sign of their success. فَيَقُولُ. He will say, هَاؤُمْ. This is an expression of excitement, of joy. اِقْرَأُوا كِتَابِيَ. He'll say, read my book, look. Read my book. And there's like a subtle dialogue here almost. You can almost imagine there to be a dialogue here. Just like if you're at work and you go to the supervisor or the boss's office and you come back to your area of cubicles, the other people who work in your department or in your area, and you come back and you tell them, I just got a promotion. I'm going up 3 floors up, corner office, promotion. The first question that's asked of you is, what'd you do? Tell us what's your secret. How are you able to get this promotion? So similarly, this person will go around showing off his book. اقرأوا كتابي. Look, read it. So people will ask him, how did you find success? How are you able to be in this enviable position on this day? And he will respond by saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنِّي ظَنَنْتُ أَنِّي مُلَاقٍ حِسَابِيَ. And this is the secret ingredient here. I was constantly mindful. I was sure of the fact that I would face my accounting on this day. That I will be held accountable on this day. I was sure of it, I never forgot it, and I remained aware and conscious of it. This was my secret. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to state, فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. You'll have an extremely pleasurable life. فِي جَنَّةٍ عَالِيَةٍ. In elevated gardens of paradise. قُطُوفُهَا دَانِيَةٍ. With the branches bearing fruits, bending down near him, draping over him so that he can pluck from them and he can eat from them and take from them. كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا هَنِيئًا بِمَا أَسْلَفْتُمْ فِي الْأَيَّامِ الْخَالِيَةِ. Eat, drink, enjoy. بِمَا أَسْلَفْتُمْ فِي الْأَيَّامِ الْخَالِيَةِ. Because of all the work and the effort that you put in the days that have passed. There's amazing imagery here in this ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُطُوفُهَا دَانِيَةٍ. To really understand what this ayah means, that when a person in paradise will be lying down in his Jannah, in his paradise, and he'll be relaxing and enjoying the pleasures of Jannah, the cool breeze, the beautiful companions, the luxurious beds, and he'll be lying under the shade of a tree. And he'll look up at this tree and it'll be bearing ripe, juicy, beautiful fruits. And he'll look at them and he'll desire to eat those fruits. And as soon as he will desire to eat those fruits, without him even lifting a finger or raising himself up, the branches of the tree will bend down all the way down to his mouth so that he can directly eat from the fruit. And when he's done eating, the tree will lift back up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not discomfort the person in paradise even to the extent where he has to lift a hand and pluck the fruit from the tree. This is what it means. So this is that accountability, that secret of accountability. And on the other hand, for the other group, Allah says, وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِشِمَالِهِ. There will be another group of people who will receive their book of deeds in their left hand. فَيَقُولْ يَا لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أُوتَ كِتَابِيَهْ. He'll curse himself. He'll say, I wish I was never even given my book. وَلَمْ أَدْرِ مَا حِسَابِيَهْ. Once again, the question will be posed to him. Or the question can be posed to him. How'd you end up here? You seemed like a sensible person, educated guy, well-to-do, pretty responsible. How'd you end up in this pitiful situation? And he will say, وَلَمْ أَدْرِ مَا حِسَابِيَهْ. What doomed me was the fact that I was not mindful that I would be held accountable one day. I forgot. Same word, حِسَابِيَهْ, حِسَابِيَهْ. My accounting, that I would be held accountable. This is the secret. This is the difference. The deal breaker is that sense, that consciousness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold us accountable. And then it goes on to say, يَا لَيْتَهَا كَانَتِ الْقَاضِيَةِ. This person will continue to curse himself. He'll say, I wish I would have just, the first time when I died, I wish I never would have been brought to life again. مَا أَغْنَى عَنِّي مَالِيَا. My money didn't help me. هَلَكَ عَنِّي سُلْطَانِي. All my power, my influence, my popularity, it's all gone. Nothing's left. هَلَكَ عَنِّي سُلْطَانِيَا خُذُوهُ فَغُلُّوا. The angels will be commanded, grab him and shackle him. ثُمَّ الْجَحِيمَ صَلُّوا. Throw him in head first into the fire of hell. ثُمَّ فِي سِلْسِلَةٍ ذَرْعُهَا سَبْعُونَ ذِرَاعًا فَاسْلُكُوا. Take chains that are 70 yards long and tie him up in those chains. إِنَّهُ كَانَ لَا يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ الْعَظِيمِ. He did not believe in Allah the way he was meant to. وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. He did not encourage people to feed the poor. فَلَيْسَ لَهُ الْيَوْمَ هَاهُنَا حَمِيمٌ. He has no devoted friends, nobody to watch his back for him today. وَلَا طَعَامٌ إِلَّا مِنْ غِسْلِينَ. No food will even be provided for him except غِسْلِينَ. The word غِسْلِينَ, it comes from washing something. It basically refers to the hot boiling water that will wash the wounds of the people in the fire of hell. لَا يَأْكُلُهُ إِلَّا الْخَاطِئُونَ. And only those sinful people in the fire of hell will be made to eat this. So this is that sense of accountability. And in today's recitation, we also read about this. The same sense. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us, explaining this to us from different angles. In Surah Al-Isra, Surah Bani Israel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayah number 14, اقرأ كتابك. How will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala account us? اقرأ كتابك. You read your book. كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. This will suffice for your accounting today. The way I like to explain this part of the ayah, كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا, is you tell me what I should do with you. You know when your child brings like a bad report card, he's got F's lined up all the way down the side, and he comes and he places it in front of you, and you look at it, you put it down and you tell me what I should do with you. You tell me. Because it's so obvious. So you tell me. Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have our books presented to us and you'll say, you read it. You tell me what I should do with you. Are you deserving of Jannah? Are you deserving of forgiveness? My mercy? My rahmah? Are you? You tell me. This will be that time when we have to answer for the way we've lived our lives. Now to think about that now. That's the key. This is why it's being told to us. And Allah even tells us in Surah Al-Kahf, in ayah number 49, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even tells us, وَوُضِعَ الْكِتَابِ, the book will be placed in front of the person. فَتَرَى الْمُجْرِمِينَ مُشْفِقِينَ مِمَّا فِيهِ. The criminals, the people who did not live their lives with that sense of accountability, مُشْفِقِينَ مِمَّا فِيهِ. They'll be afraid of what's in that book. يَقُولُونَ مَا لِهَذَا الْكِتَابِ. They'll say, what's wrong with this book? لَا يُغَادِرُ صَغِيرًا وَلَا كَبِيرًا. Nothing small, nothing big, إِلَّا أَحْصَاهَا. Everything's been enumerated here. Counted out, spelled out. In exact amounts, everything is listed here. Small or big, whatever I did. وَوَجَدُوا مَا عَمِلُوا حَاضِرًا. They will find everything they did in this life present before them. Allah says, وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. Allah does not oppress anyone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not do dhulm on anyone. They'll be facing their own deeds. They'll be facing their own actions. So this is basically what I wanted to talk about today. What can we take from this? What can we implement from this? A sense of accounting ourselves is a concept that is not alien to us. It's not strange to us. It's something we're very used to. We balance our checkbooks. We balance our checkbooks. We check our accounts. We maintain our portfolios. We count our calories. All of these things. This is something that's not strange to us. We manage all these things. We check our minutes for our cell phone plan. We're constantly managing ourselves, accounting ourselves. How have I been doing? How much have I done? How much can I do more? Have I gone over? Am I still under? We're something we're very used to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to implement that same mentality that we have in terms of our money and sometimes even our time, in our worldly pursuits, and our different assets and resources. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to apply that in terms of our deen as well. In terms of our deen. Did I perform all my salawat today? Did I pray all the prayers today? Did I pray them on time today? Did I attend the masjid today? How much Quran did I recite today? How much dhikr did I make today? How many ayahs did I memorize today? How many pages of the seerah book did I read today? How much sadaqah have I given this week? How many people did I help this week? And at the same time, the other side of it as well. Did I lie today? Did I backbite anyone? Did I slander anyone? Was I rude to any people this week? Did I abuse anyone? All of these things. Managing ourselves. Accounting ourselves. And that's why a wise person once said, حَاسِبُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ قَبْلَ أَن تُحَاسَبُوا. Account yourselves before you are held accountable. Before you are accounted for. That day is coming when we all have to stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and answer for our deeds. But what we can do today, what we can do now, is start to account ourselves. Hold ourselves accountable. Check ourselves. And we'll see a gradual improvement. We'll begin to improve ourselves. We'll begin to better ourselves. This is something that's very important. And to serve as a little bit of motivation on doing this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us today as well. We recited, I'll just present 2 ayat. We recited that this motivates us, this shows us if we put some effort, it'll require some effort. It'll be a little difficult, it'll be a little tasking in the beginning. But if we put the time and the effort and the energy into it, we see the benefits of it. In Surah Al-Isra and Surah Bani Israel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayah number 19, وَمَنْ أَرَادَ الْآخِرَةِ. A person who intends for the life of the hereafter. That's his desire, that's his intention. وَسَعَى لَهَا سَعْيَهَا. And he struggles. The word sa'i in the Arabic language, it means to work for something. To strive for something. But it means to walk briskly, walk kind of quickly, not run to the point where you become tired. And not be lazy either. Not stroll. And not sprint. But to have a middle pace like a jog. Like a fast-paced walk. And it refers to somebody who has an end goal. Not somebody who's doing this aimlessly. But somebody who has a goal in mind. There's a goal at the end. There's something that he's aiming for. There's an objective. There's a goal that he's trying to achieve. So Allah says when somebody intends for the akhirah, وَسَعَى لَهَا سَعْيَهَا. But then not only that, he pushes himself forward. consistently, at a steady pace, he worked towards it, never losing sight of his goal. Sa'yaha, such an effort that the life of the hereafter is deserving of it. Puts that type of work into it. وَهُوَ مُؤْمِن, and he believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and believes in what he's doing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَأُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ سَعْيُهُمْ مَشْكُورًا. These people, their efforts, mashkura, they will be appreciated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how will they be appreciated? In Surah Al-Kahf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayah number 30 and 31, that إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ إِنَّا لَا نُضِيعُ أَجْرَ مَنْ أَحْسَنَ عَمَلًا. People who believe in Allah and who strive to do good, إِنَّا لَا نُضِيعُ. Allah says we will never waste. We will never ever waste. أَجْرَ مَنْ أَحْسَنَ عَمَلًا. The reward of anyone who strives to do good, who tries to excel in doing his deeds, will never waste his efforts. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala goes on to say, أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ عَدْنٍ. These are the people that they will be in the gardens of perpetual enjoyment and existence and pleasure. تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِهِمُ الْأَنْهَارِ. Rivers flowing from beneath these people. Typically in the Quran we see مِن تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارِ. Rivers flowing from beneath the garden. Here Allah says rivers flowing from beneath these people themselves. This is to show the importance of these people. Typically everywhere Allah says جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِن تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارِ. تحتها, from beneath the garden there will be rivers. Here Allah says min tahtihim, from beneath these people. It's to show the importance of these people. The rivers will be flowing from beneath their feet. يُحَلَّوْنَ فِيهَا مِنْ أَسَاوِرٍ. These people will be adorned. The people of Jannah, they'll be adorned, they'll be beautified, they'll be dressed in jewelry made out of gold and silver. وَيَلْبَسُونَ ثِيَابًا خُضْرًا. And they'll be given garments, luxurious clothing to wear, green. Khudran min sundus wa istabarak, out of fine and thin silk and even thick silk. They'll be wearing green robes of fine and thick silk. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مُتَّكِئِينَ فِيهَا عَلَى الْأَرَائِكِ. And they'll be reclining and resting upon these luxurious, raised, beautiful couches, thrones in paradise. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions here مُتَّكِئِين, al-ittika. That means to rest, means to relax, like we say, to chill. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention that? Remember the ayah that I gave before? وَمَنْ أَرَادَ الْآخِرَةَ وَسَعَى لَهَا سَعْيَهَا. When a person works in the life of this world, and he works hard, and he tires himself in order to please Allah, Allah says in the life of the hereafter, this person will be relaxed. No worries. And even they explain in the Arabic language, al-ittika, it means somebody who has no concerns, no worries. There's nothing pending upon that person. So in the life of this dunya, these people were working hard, they were struggling, because there was something pending. There was a due date, and that was their death. And they didn't know when it was coming. But they knew they would die one day, and then they would have to answer. So they never really got to relax in the life of this dunya. They were always concerned about the akhirah, always concerned about the akhirah. Never wanted to waste any time. But now that they reached Jannah, they have nothing. It's for all of eternity. Nothing but pleasure, bliss, enjoyment, indulgence. And so muttaqeen, they'll completely be relaxed. No concern for any time, any effort, any work, any responsibility, nothing. Just try to imagine that. What an amazing, peaceful experience and existence that will be. And Allah says, نِعْمَ الثَّوَابِ. This is the best of reward. This is the best of reward. وَحَسُنَتْ مُرْتَفَقًا. And this will be the excellent place of relaxation, a dwelling. The mirfaq in the Arabic language is the elbow. And murtafaqa means a place where somebody can relax. You know when you really, really relax? You place your elbows on something. It's a lot more relaxing to sit in a chair like a recliner where you have like armrest, you can place your arms on something. You know, when you get in the airplane and you're fighting over the armrest with the guy next to you. Because it's more relaxing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions they'll have such a beautiful place to relax and enjoy themselves where they can completely let go. They can rest their elbows and then that's it. The work is done. No more hard work to do. So this is the motivation. But in order to be able to reach this, we have to put in the time, the effort, and the concern now. Account ourselves. Just like I mentioned that we do in our worldly issues, in our worldly affairs, in our material pursuits. We account ourselves. Let us apply the same mentality and the same logic in terms of our deen, and inshallah we'll see ourselves becoming better. This is a month of Ramadan. This is the perfect time to start this, inshallah, so we can remain consistent with this even after the month is gone. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to practice everything that's been said and heard. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.